Okay, in this session, we're going to talk about the customer account group. Where have we seen the customer account group? If you try to create a customer, go to logistics, sales and distribution, master data, business partner, customer, and then create, right? So go to VD01 or XD01. The first thing that you would have to enter is this account group, also called as the customer account group. Now, when we discuss the customer master, I told you that you can just use 0001 for now and then go ahead and create the customer master. But what does this really affect? What is the purpose of the customer account group? In order to understand this, let's take two customers. All right, let me go to the change mode. Take two customers, 1000 and 1050 in another screen. Two customers, two different customers, and then let's go to the sales area data for both these customers by clicking on the sales area data as usual. As you can see, both these customers are entirely different in the way their fields are set, in the way they have their tabs set. So what is the difference between the two? What differentiates these two customers? The difference is between these two customers. For example, what I was trying to say is, this guy has sales, shipping, billing, and partner functions tabs. But this 1050 customer only has sales and billing. And inside each of these tabs, for example, customer 1000 has the sales tab, has the sales district as DU0010, whereas 1050 does not have the sales district. So where is this configuration? What really is differentiating between the two? As you have guessed already, both of them belong to a different customer account group. So once a customer is created, how do you know which customer account group that customer belongs to? Just go to extras and administrative data, and then you'll see a pop-up like this, okay, where you will see that the customer belongs to a particular customer account group. In this case 001, and in this case 003. So this is a sold to party and this is a payer. The names doesn't really matter. Sold to party, ship to party, distributor, payer, hierarchy customer. We'll get to that at a later point. But both of them fundamentally belong to different customer account groups. Alright. So where are they configured? In order to configure the customer account group, just go to SPRO, IMG, and then Logistics General, Business Partner, Customers, Control, then click on Define Account Groups. The reason why customer master configuration is in Logistics General is because Logistics General mostly contains configuration that's common across all of the logistics sections, like logistics execution, transportation, shipping, so on and so forth. If you are doing SPRO for the first time, all you have to understand is SPRO is a transaction code, and we will be discussing this as part of a separate class. You just have to type in the configuration code SPRO and then click on the display reference IMG SAP implementation guide, and then you'll be taken to the Logistics General section. You can move on to business partner, customers, just like you would in any easy access control. Okay, so once you click on this, you'll be taken to all the different customer account groups. we have already created customers or seen customers that belonged to this customer account groups 0001, 0003. If you go inside any one of those, let's say 0001, and then you'll see that there are a certain number of controls behind them. So let's go inside and see what are the controls. Alright, so we'll go to SPRO by clicking on SPRO, and then IMG. When I meant IMG, you have to click on this button, SAP reference IMG. Click, and then select Logistics General, Business Partner, and Customers, Control, and define customer account groups. Now the path is there in the notes, so no worries, don't worry about remembering it. Once you click on it, like we have seen in that workbook, there are a number of customer account groups. So select and then either double click it or click on the magnifying glass. And these are the controls that you see. You see that for customer account group there is a number range. We'll come to number range in a bit, but most importantly there is something here called as field status, and there are three different field statuses: general data, company code data, sales data. Now, apart from that, there are other things like text controls, customer pricing procedure, partner determination procedure, so on and so forth, which will require a considerable understanding of other concepts in order to understand these. Okay, so we're going to ignore that for now. We're going to concentrate on two different aspects. The first one being the field status group, and after that we'll move on to number ranges. So what about field status group? So we have general data here, and then company code, and then sales data, right? This should ring a bell already. When we discuss the customer master, we have seen that there are three different sections in the customer master, right? General data, company code data, and then sales data. And the customer account group has these three different sections as well. Now you can double click on any of these sections. Like for example, if you want to see the controls behind the general data, just double click on it. Alright, let me go back again. Here we have company code data. Double click on it, and then you'll go into the status groups inside that particular view. Once again, if you want to go into sales data, just double click on it. Okay, now you know that, for example, the sales data has sales A view has the sales data, shipping data, billing data, partner functions, so on, right? You can see the parallel here. The sales group, the field status groups are sales, shipping, billing, partner data, and so on. So this is a direct representation of the different tabs in the customer master. So let me take a screenshot here so that you can easily remember it. Alright, let me insert a page. Okay, see, there is a sales, there is shipping, there is billing, so on and so forth. Okay, so it's a direct representation of the different tabs. Now just double click on sales, for example, and then you'll see that for sales tab in the customer master sales data, what do we have? Okay, looks like something is wrong here, so let me just correct it. Okay, in the sales tab, what do we have? We have a sales group here, a field called the sales group, but what does it really say? It says suppressed. The status of the field status group, sales group, is set to suppressed. What about sales district? Now this one is display, and you can see that the sales district is display DE0010. Can you modify it? No, it's grayed out, right? What about customer group? Customer group is a required entry, right? So let me take another screenshot here so that you can easily map what's going on here. Okay, so you see that the sales district is set to display, right? So the sales district is set to display, and hence this is grayed out, right? Price group or customer group, let's say, where is the customer group? Customer group is set to required entry, and it's not grayed out. So you see that there is a facility where you can enter the customer group, and if you do not enter the customer group, let's say you don't enter anything, you see what's happening here. You see that there is a check mark that comes up here, right? And that check mark is just saying that, you know what, you gotta fill it. Without filling it, you cannot proceed forward. And that's what SAP, that's what the picture over here is saying. It's saying, hey, you know what, you have to fill it up. Okay, let me just move all this stuff here, and then move this stuff here, move this picture here. Okay, so when it says required entry, it means that your customer group is mandatory. You have to fill it. And of course, optional is pretty obvious, right? Optional, you can fill it, you don't need to fill it. And then suppress is a way of suppressing that field from being visible on the screen. So sales group is suppressed and hence not visible. Suppressed, hence not visible, right? So this is the crux of field status group. Can we make fields visible or not in the master data screen is what a field status group dictates. All right, so that's that. And then what about number ranges? The next one is number ranges. So we have 01 here assigned to the customer account group 0001. And what does 01 say? So just go to 2 steps below. This is where you have defined the customer account group. Just go 2 steps below, and then we have define and assign number ranges. Define and assign number ranges. So the number range that has been assigned to 0001 is 01. What does 01 say? 01 says that the number range for 01 is 1, just preceding by dummy zeros, until 99999, 5 nines, so almost until 100,000. And the most important part, it's an external number range. Now what does that mean? That means that the numbers have to fall in between 1 and 99999, and the number has to be entered externally by the user. Let me see and give you an example of it. If we try and create a customer master as usual with the transaction code VD01, and then use 0001 as the customer account group and hit enter, it immediately says that use external number assignment. This means that whenever you try to create a new customer, that has the number range 0, 1 associated with it, you have to enter a customer number using the customer account create screen. If you don't use it, if you don't enter something, it doesn't allow you to go forward, and this is the error that you see. Okay, if you don't enter the customer number, okay, you get an error while creating the customer in VD01 or XD01, whatever, FD01, right? For example, if we had 02 as the customer account number, then the number range is different here, but you would not have to enter it. It would be external, it would be internal, and system would automatically generate it. We'll have a separate session on number ranges, where we define number ranges for sales documents, where we define number range for a whole set of transactions. The fundamentals are the same, but in that section we'll see how to create new number ranges, what is overlap, how to avoid overlap, what are the properties of number ranges like transportable versus non-transportable, and all that stuff will be dealt with in a separate class. But for now, just understand that this is where the numbers are coming from. So the customer number is defined at the customer account group level. Alright, so that's the customer account group. Any questions, just post them in our forum, and then we will discuss that as part of a Q&A. Thank you. Bye-bye.